Welcome to the Power of Design podcast. My name is Jack Ossa. I'm an architect, born and raised in Colombia, South America. Years ago, I migrated to the United States to follow my dreams, and today I'm the founder and principal of Ossa Studio, a multidisciplinary architectural design firm in Charlotte, North Carolina. In this podcast, we talk about design, business, creativity, and the inspiration we need to create an exciting and powerful built environment.
Welcome to the Power of Design podcast. In this episode, we sit down with John McCain, President and CEO of the Lancaster County Chamber of Commerce, to explore how a 30-year Air Force career shaped his passion for service and leadership. John reveals why soft skills are a powerful force for business growth, how collaboration fuels economic development, and what makes Lancaster County a rising destination for both families and companies, especially with Charlotte's booming market just around the corner.
John, welcome to the Power of Design podcast. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Jack. Hope you are.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to talk to you today. I know we met probably a year and a half ago when I joined the Lancaster Chamber of Commerce in Indian Land, South Carolina, where I live. So I'm excited to have you here.
Well, I'm excited to be here. So thank you very much for the invitation. And we're so glad to have you in the Lancaster County Chamber of Commerce. And it's always great when we can bring companies and organizations in from just outside the county. And I know your business is located here in South Charlotte or in Charlotte. But you live in Indian Land. You're a South Carolinian too. So
that's right.
That's fantastic.
Awesome. Well, John, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? You know, where did you grow up, and a little bit of details about your story to understand how did you get to where you are today?
Sure. I'll be glad to do that. I'll try to give you sort of the Reader's Digest version. So I don't want you falling asleep on me over there. But
I won't.
So I am a Lancaster County native. So I was born and raised in Lancaster County and lived in a rural area of the county, not Indian Land, but another part of the county. Went to public schools there, graduated from high school in Lancaster County, Beaufort High School, and then I was off to Clemson University.
Oh, cool.
Yep. So I'm a Clemson grad.
Nice.
While at Clemson, I was in the Air Force ROTC program. I don't know if you know what that is.
No, I have no idea. Tell me about that.
So the ROTC stands for Reserve Officer Training Corps, and it is one of the pathways to earning a commission as an officer in the military.
Okay.
And there are hundreds of colleges and universities around the country that have different branches of service ROTC programs. So, for example, at Clemson, where I went, there was an Army ROTC program and an Air Force ROTC program.
Okay.
Some universities might have a Navy program and an Army program. So they're different. Different universities they offer different programs. But I was interested in potentially flying. I always wanted to fly. I had an interest in doing that. So, and a propensity to serve. I had a desire to serve if I could serve the nation in uniform. So, Air Force ROTC was the path I chose. And so when I graduated from Clemson 4 years later in 1983, I graduated and was commissioned as second lieutenant, in the Air Force on the same day. And then I was off to the Air Force.
Wow.
And had no idea that I would ultimately make it a career. I just wanted to serve and fly airplanes. And so the Air Force, provided me that opportunity. And so, but as time went on, I was enjoying my career.
Yeah.
The Air Force was very good to my family and I. I got married a couple of years after being in the Air Force.
Tell me about the first time you flew an airplane by yourself.
Well, the first time I flew an airplane by myself was when I soloed while I was in college, actually.
Yeah.
In a program there, and it was pretty scary event. You
Yeah.
learn to fly in a little
I
single
bet.
engine airplane, and
Yes.
and the instructor kind of surprises you because when they think you're ready to solo,
Yeah.
they just basically say, pull over here and let me out, and take it up and fly around a little bit, do a couple of touch and goes. And so
Yes.
so it was a wonderful event. And then there's a little tradition when you solo for the first time, when you land and taxi in, they take some scissors and they cut the back out of your shirt
Oh,
and write your name on it,
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff. So a cool little tradition. But that's
Interesting.
that's kind of how I got it started. And short story is I wound up making it a career. I had a 30-year career in the Air Force.
Wow.
We lived in various parts of the country during that period of time.
What kind of airplanes did you fly?
So I was selected to fly the KC-135, which is an air refueling aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it's a large 4-engine jet aircraft. Think of a Boeing 707, one of the early Boeing jets. And it's a great airplane. Got about 2,700 hours in that aircraft. So it was, had a wonderful time. So air refueling is what we do. So think of flying gas stations. So
Okay.
Refueling other aircraft in the air,
Wow.
so they can continue on their mission without.
So
having to
how
land.
close do you have to be to the other one?
Pretty close, about 50 feet or so.
50 feet?
Oh yeah,
Wow.
until you actually, connect.
Are you under or above?
So the tanker, the aircraft I'm in, is above,
Yes.
and the plane you're going to refuel comes in under you. And
How do you connect the hose?
yeah, so we have we got a guy called a boom operator,
Mm-hmm.
and in the KC-135, my aircraft, the boomer is laying down on his stomach in the back,
Yeah.
in what we call the boom pod, and he has a little joystick that he lowers the boom. It's like think about a gas hose, but it's not a flexible hose like that.
Yeah.
It actually has wings on it, on the end of it, and the boom operator can fly the boom around, and he flies it basically into the receptacle for the receiver aircraft, and that's how we refuel. It's pretty cool.
That's amazing. Do you ever have any issues or problems up in the air?
Fortunately, for all those years of flying, really never had a serious issue, except once. And when we, on a particular mission, when the air refueling was complete, we stow the boom. In other words, the boom will fly and lock up into place, and then it stays stowed for the rest of the mission until you land. And on one particular mission, when the boom operator went to stow the boom, it wouldn't go all the way up and latch, and so that was unusual, and we had to try it a number of times, and actually had to get a phone patch to our maintenance facility to give us ideas on, okay, what should we do now? Because the only other option is that you have to land with the boom and trail, and that's not a good thing when it's dragging on the runway as you're landing. So.
Yeah.
But fortunately, we were able to get it latched up, and but I think that's probably the worst experience I've had.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah. So I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you're flying airplanes, enjoying life. Tell me about, your family.
Sure. Well, as it turns out, I married my high school sweetheart.
Oh,
so she's
wow.
also from Lancaster County.
Yeah.
And she traveled. We had a great life in the Air Force, and have 2 adult daughters who are both doing very well, Lauren and Caitlin. And so, we have a wonderful career in the Air Force. Then when I retired, both Rhonda and I had aging parents. Our parents were getting older, and we retired in Alabama, and we really felt like that we needed to get back to this area to be able to help them, in their older age. So that's what we did, and we're glad we did that. We made the right decision there, and and I did a couple things after retirement, tried a couple different things, and then this opportunity came available a few years ago, and I'm enjoying my role at the Chamber of Commerce.
Nice. So tell me about that. How do you get connected? Did you know what you were getting into, and what your role is, and
Right,
what do you
right.
do today with the chamber?
So I'm currently the president and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce in Lancaster County, and began that role in September of 2021. So I'm entering into my fourth year now
Mm-hmm.
at the Chamber. Prior to that, I was the Deputy Director of Economic Development for Lancaster County. So it's kind of similar roles.
Mm-hmm.
In my role with the county, I was, helping with business retention, recruitment in some cases, trying to bring heavier industry into Lancaster County, really focused on capital investment and job creation. And in doing that, I was able to meet a lot of the companies, businesses in the county. And so when this opportunity came available with the chamber, when I heard the position was coming available, I just, threw my hat in the ring and fortunately was selected. So I think it made an easier transition for me because having grown up in the county and kind of knowing the area, and then working with a number of companies, particularly larger companies,
Mm-hmm.
I think that made my transition into the chamber role easier.
Yeah.
But now in the chamber world, of course, my aperture opens a little bit now because I'm working with all types of businesses, large and small, restaurant, retail, and across a broader spectrum.
Yeah.
And that's enjoyable for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's just because as you well know, as a small business owner, that's small businesses drive the economy. They are the engine that drives the economy. And
Yes.
so watching and helping businesses try to be successful is very rewarding for me and my staff.
Yeah.
So,
What do you think are your kind of natural skills or ability that help you, facilitate this role?
well, I try to be an effective communicator. I try to communicate well and share our vision, and I also try to be a good listener.
Mm.
I think that's important because everybody's situation is a little different, right?
Yeah.
And whether it's someone that's a startup that's brand new, and where do I go and who do I talk to and how do I get started, to companies who've been in business for decades but they're having some challenges.
Mm-hmm.
So it's trying to listen and see what the best way we can help them be successful.
Yeah. Where do you think you got those skills from?
I think the Air Force, the military gave me,
Yeah.
great opportunities to sort of hone and grow those skills. And I think it's important in today's world, no matter what you're doing, is having interpersonal skills, being able to work with anybody,
Right.
is very important. And so, the military, the Air Force in particular, gave me, I think, opportunities to work on that, and hopefully we're doing a good job for our chamber members.
Sure. And
I hope so.
those are skills that every person will enjoy.
Mhm.
I talk to my kids a lot about that. There are all these hard facts that you learn and education and knowledge, but the soft skills, communication, meeting people where they are,
Right.
understanding their point of view,
Right.
that's huge. And it seems that that's not very common that you talk about that, when you're growing up and in school. There's not a lot of emphasis on nurturing those skills that we all can develop.
That's right. And you're right. It really begins in the home. So and fortunately I had great parents that, that gave us, my brother and I, a solid foundation. So I commend you and Mariana for the way, that you're instilling that in your children. So that's going to be great for them. And so, yeah. And we've got a great staff at the chamber. I've got a great team of professionals who really, and we're a small staff. We're just there are 4 of us total, 3 full-time and 1 part-timer. But yeah, just so grateful for them. They're very focused. They're all professional. They understand our role in the community, and they're dedicated to doing the very best for our chamber members. So,
Yeah, I have noticed that. I've been a member for about a year and a half now, and I think a lot of the things you talk about, they really transfer to the image of the chamber. The communication is out there, whether it's website, emails, you always know what's going on. They're all different types of events that might be more appropriate for, one business or the other, but there is always something. And I think in general, it seems, at least my perspective, it's a fun crowd. It's very friendly. We're talking about our business, but it also feels kind of like this familiar environment where you feel good about it.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that feedback. We work hard to do that and create that kind of atmosphere for our members. In the chamber world, we're a member-driven organization, so we really exist to support our members and their needs. And our vision with the Lancaster County Chamber is, quite simply, to make Lancaster County a better place to live, work, and do business. And so that's our goal. And I think if you could, if I had to kind of boil it down into just a couple of sentences to describe what we do, I would say we focus on our members and our community. So members and community. And I think if our community is successful in general, then our members will be successful. Their businesses will prosper, and that's what we try to do. And we try to do that through a variety of things, just like you mentioned, offering a variety of programs and events that hopefully appeal to the majority of our members. And we try to provide something for everyone.
Yeah. What will you say is unique and special about Lancaster County?
I think one of the things that makes Lancaster so special is beyond just the people, who I think in general are welcoming and friendly and hardworking, but our proximity to Charlotte is a big help for us. And what that does is it allows folks to perhaps live in Lancaster, hopefully work in Lancaster County, but also have access to a large city like Charlotte and all the amenities that are here.
Yeah.
Cost of living is going to be less in Lancaster County, generally speaking. We've got a great educational system. Our public schools are excellent and growing with super nice facilities. We've got a wonderful public safety, programs in Lancaster County. Our sheriff's department is fantastic. I would put it up at the top of any in the state of South Carolina. They're really leaders in what they do. Just an incredible organization. And then, down to just the quality of life kind of things that we have. It's largely a rural county, but there are areas that are very urban. The Indian Land area is rapidly growing and continues to grow rapidly where you live.
Yeah.
And that's almost like South Charlotte in some ways.
Oh, yeah.
So I think we offer a lot of things for a lot of folks. If you want to slow down a little bit and take advantage of a rural setting where the pace is a little slower and the quality of life is high, but yet you're close to Charlotte and you can get there and do some big city things if you would like to. So.
Yeah.
The Power of Design podcast is brought to you by Ossa Studio, a multidisciplinary design firm focused on creating impactful experiences through the power of design. We partner with our clients to create buildings, interior spaces, brands, and strategies that help you deliver a successful project. As a minority-owned firm, we are committed to building a diverse platform of curious and driven design professionals so we can together pursue our full potential. For more information, please visit us at www.ossastudio.com.
What will be the incentive for, let's say I'm a business owner and I'm looking for a location for my business. Could be maybe, let's say, manufacturing or something, of a decent size. what will be the reasons to go to Lancaster County versus to any other kind of adjoining location?
Yeah, I would say favorable tax, rates in the state of South Carolina in general. And then in Lancaster County in particular, there are, when it comes to incentives to establishing a company there or relocating a company, particularly larger companies with lots of employees, there are various incentives that are available that the county can provide to businesses looking to expand in Lancaster County. I think certainly when you look at a macro level, our proximity to the port in Charleston is huge. We also have our own railroad in Lancaster County that transits Lancaster and Chester County. The Lancaster and Chester, the LNC Railroad. It's a short line railroad, about 60 miles, but it also connects, to the major rail systems in the country. So, if a company that needs rail access for large, manufactured items, lots of opportunity to take advantage of that. So, and of course, we have a good road system that's even getting better as time goes on. And so proximity to the interstate systems to connect you really to all of the Southeast. And of course, as you know, the Southeast continues to boom.
Yep.
There's a migration from around the country to the Southeast, and South Carolina is certainly enjoying, the benefits of that. And Lancaster County is right there too. In 2023, South Carolina was the fastest growing state in the nation.
Oh, wow.
Population-wise, yeah. And last year, Lancaster County was one of the top, I'd say 3, maybe 4 counties in terms of growth in the state of South Carolina as well. So just lots of opportunity. It's a business-friendly community. It's a business-friendly county. It's a safe place to raise your family. And I just think in general, we enjoy a high quality of life.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's awesome. What do you see the ideal future for the chamber? How do you foresee the next maybe 5-10 years? What will be your involvement in that?
Sure. It's a great question. In fact, we just finished our annual planning retreat with our board of directors just last week, looking at sort of the shorter term and some long-term goals. One of the things for us is we would love to find a location a little closer to the central business district, the downtown area in Lancaster.
Yep.
There's a lot that's going to be happening in downtown in terms of growth and expansion.
Yes.
Over the next several years. Our current office is a little off the beaten path. And so one of our goals is, can we relocate the office to closer to our central business district? You shouldn't have to work too hard to find where your Chamber of Commerce is.
Right.
It should be obvious. So,
sure.
So that's a goal of ours, along with, one of our advocacy goals for 2025 continues to be helping to focus on redevelopment of downtown Lancaster, and not just the downtown area in Lancaster, but also Kershaw and Heath Springs, the other municipalities within Lancaster County. So we just really believe that the downtown areas of a city or town is really the historic and cultural center of the county. Yeah. And the city of Lancaster, of course, is the county seat. So it's the center of our county government. There's a lot that goes on there. And so I would say that's one of the things we're hoping to do is to help facilitate that in a number of ways. And of course, we certainly want to continue to grow our chamber. That's always a goal, is to retain the members we have and continue to grow our membership so that we can provide even more benefits to our chamber members. So.
Yeah. What advice will you give to someone who wants to be in leadership positions where they want to make things happen, give back to others? Because I know that's not easy, and sometimes people are maybe shy or afraid to take on those type of opportunities or challenges.
Yeah, I think you got to get involved and get engaged, and we have programs that facilitate that with the chamber. We have a young professionals program that's about to begin its third year, focused on ages 21 to 40.
Oh, nice.
So I'm out of that age group, but they do let me come occasionally and show up. So I appreciate that. But yeah, that's a free program to just members of our community. You don't even have to be a chamber member to participate, because we felt like there was a void with that age group, and to bring those young leaders together and sort of nurture relationships and learn how to network, learn how to interface with the business community and your peers, a very important skill set to have. And so that's available right now, and we've got some great programs that are being looked at for 2025. So I would encourage anybody who may be interested just to check us out, go to our website, look at our Young Professionals area. We also have a Facebook page for the Young Professionals program. We also have, and this is one of the legacy programs that the Chamber has in place for, I think since 1988 or 89, is the Leadership Lancaster program. Incredibly popular, and essentially it's where we use the community as a classroom. And it's a 7-month program. The course starts in November. They graduate in May. These are all adults who enroll in this program. They meet typically once a month for a full day and really learn about Lancaster County, learn about the place that they live and work, and the history, everything from history to culture and arts, to law enforcement, to government. We even take a trip to Columbia and visit the state capitol as a part of that. So it's a very involved program. This is the biggest class we've had. We have 44 people in this class this year, and extremely popular. So that class opens up on the 1st of July, and typically it's full within a week. So that's how popular it is. But it's a great program, and as a Lancaster native who thought I knew where I grew up pretty well, within the first 10 or 15 minutes of History Day, I'd learned something I never knew. So and we have a lot of other opportunities for folks to get involved and get engaged through our networking programs. Our morning business connection that I see you attend quite often when you can, and we have 2 of those a month. We have quarterly mix and mingles. We have a golf tournament. We have just a number. We have lunch and learns that folks are, and that's a member only program that we feed you lunch and you just come and learn about some interesting topic of importance to your business. So lots of opportunities, Jack, to get involved at all ages, really.
Yeah. How connected, and I'm sure you guys are connected with other chambers of other places, because I will think you guys, share knowledge, learn about each other. Tell me about that experience, and how do you guys connect at that macro level?
Yes, great. That's another great question. The chamber community, as I have come to learn, is a great community that doesn't mind sharing advice, helping each other, helping, neighbor chambers out. We have a great relationship, of course, with the York County Regional Chamber, our neighbors just across the river there. Dean Fell, who used to be the president and CEO of the Lancaster County Chamber of Commerce, leads their chamber. And so we talk routinely and share ideas and support each other. Same thing with the Chester County Chamber there in South Carolina. Have a great relationship with them, and we partnered on a number of events. So it's a great community, and everybody just is willing to help each other and share ideas. And of course, there are larger organizations as well that we're a part of. We're members of the South Carolina Chamber of Commerce, and so we certainly support our state chamber any way we can. And then between the 2 Carolinas, North and South Carolina, there's an association called the Chamber of, Chamber Executive, CACCAC, Carolina's Association of Chamber of Commerce Executives. So, and I always just know it as CACCE, but a great organization of chambers in both states. And we have a couple of conferences a year with, great speakers and great opportunities to network and share ideas. So, there's a lot of collaboration in that community, and And just really helpful to have that to lean on.
And how help me understand how private or government is the chamber, because when I look at it, it seems like, oh yeah, it's very private, business friendly, but there is like some government involved in that. Is private, is not?
So it is it's good. Another good question. It's a nonprofit, so we are a 501c6, which is the IRS designation for a chamber-like organization. So we're a nonprofit. We are a member-driven organization. So our members make up the Chamber of Commerce, and as I mentioned earlier, we exist to serve our members. And so we have members across a wide spectrum. We have members who are nonprofits. We have members, who are one person running a business out of their home. We have members who are the largest businesses in Lancaster County. So it's a wide spectrum, and we have some individual members who just, want to be a part of the chamber, and so we have a wide spectrum, which includes government agencies as well, like the Lancaster County government is a huge partner for us. Education is also represented, so USC Lancaster, another excellent partner, as well as York Technical College, which serves Lancaster, York, and Chester counties. So, we serve a wide audience, and each of them are interested in making Lancaster County. They share our vision of making Lancaster County a better place to live, work, and do business. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, John, I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you,
since I joined the chamber, I've really enjoyed, meeting you and other, members. And your staff, it's amazing as well. So,
thank you.
Congratulations. I think you guys are doing a great job representing and growing, and the image you're portraying is very positive and engaging.
Thank you.
So great job with that. Thank you for coming and visiting me at my office today.
Well, thank you very
this
much.
podcast. And my last question for you is, do you have a question for me?
Yeah, I do. So you're a very successful businessman, and you've told me your story, which is amazing. We've got to get you in front of some folks here next year, hopefully. But as you navigate, the business world as a business owner of a successful architecture firm, what is your biggest challenge? I mean, what keeps you up at night? What do you think about?
That's a great question. So it changes all the time because, with small businesses, the challenges, I was telling you today before we started that a month ago, what was keeping me up at night, it was that my pipeline was starting to dry, not a lot of projects, and the table turned in 2 weeks. Now what's keeping me up at night is how are we going to do all this work that we got?
Yeah.
So, saying all that is more about me questioning what's the right next step that I need to do.
Right.
Should I invest in more people now? Should I invest before? Is it a marketing person? Is it an admin? Is it another architect? Or there are all these hundreds of decisions, and I'm trying to, what's the right decision? And sometimes, I think just because of how I think, I'm pretty conservative. I like to take my time, look at multiple options, but sometimes I get paralysis by analysis, and I should have made a decision 3 months ago, and I'm still weighing my options. And in business, just keep the ball rolling.
Right.
You make a mistake, sure, you'll fix it,
Right.
but make a decision.
Right.
So that is one aspect, which is kind of what I can control. My decision making every day, and how I deal with my employees and my clients. And the other part is all the aspects of, the economy, things that happen that, you have no control of, but sometimes that keeps you up at night too. Because, we lived through the recession here years ago, and there is a point where you can do as much as you want, but if the economy is not moving, nobody's moving.
That's right. That's
and
exactly
that's
right.
scary, and nobody wants to be there.
Right.
But I think living through one taught me that, it may happen again, and there is not much
Let's
I
hope
can
not.
do.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
So I think keeps me up at night is how do I grow the team? So I get more free time. I think at the point where my business is, I'm still doing, all the sales, operations. I'm very involved. I still have my family that needs my time. So it's kind of balancing where do I put my time. So my motivation is, get better at business, because the more I grow the business, the more opportunities I have for others, and I can free up time on my schedule to be with my family, which is what I like to do the most.
That's right. And you have a growing family, a young family, and a busy life. So I get the work-life balance piece, and in the sort of the uncertainty of life in the business world, right? None of us have that crystal ball that tells us what the future holds. So it's I certainly understand it. And I have some of those same worries, like, is it time to grow the staff? Is the time right for that? How much is too much? And those kind of things. So, but I just want to thank you again, Jack, for having me. It's an honor to be here, and you have a beautiful architecture firm here, a beautiful office, and I just appreciate your time and the opportunity to share a little bit about what we're doing with the chamber. So,
awesome. Thank you
very
John.
much.
All right. Thank you for listening to the Power of Design podcast. Please remember to subscribe, rate, and review if you like this content. And find us online at thepowerofdesignpodcast.com. I invite you to join my mission to become a better version of yourself through the power of design.